Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another damn conference. Yes. I know you are not as gutful as I am, but let's fake interest, let's pretend we're interested, let's have fun. Welcome to this edition of the Junior Indaba. It is going to be fun. It is going to be real. We're going to speak bluntly, and we're going to speak to each other and not about each other. That's what makes this a useful conversation. I will be rude to most people. Obviously, starting with the Minerals Council and working down, that's how these things play out. When the Minerals Council start to pretend they represent juniors, I smile and I think, yeah, nah, how far have we traveled? So thank you very much for being here as my punching buddy, and we can just have fun together. We do have a fantastic online attendance, which is not ideal. I love to be rude to people to their faces. But what came out of COVID, the one good thing was we were forced to have a platform that worked online, and therefore we now have or can facilitate access to people who simply can't be in Joburg today. There are even people who choose to live in the Western Cape. Even miners. I mean, mining head office is in the Western Cape, guys. Let's get real. Like, we've seen this movie, eh? After that, it's London, and then there's a hostile takeover, and then it's all South Africa again. So just stick around. These things play out beautifully in time. In the process, there's a 1.8 billion pound or dollar head office cost saving. So these things work beautifully. I'm not here to be rude to people. You would not believe that. I'm here to welcome you. I mean, 1 or 2 conferences ago, I used AI to write my speech, and I got so many compliments for it that I thought, okay, people now know this is not authentic anymore. This doesn't sound like me. The English is far too good. So I went back to my old habit, and instead of using AI to write speeches, I just stole what other people said. I think that's a lot more credible and true to who I really am. But now I have to find it. So I think the conversation at the Junior Indaba is obviously not a South African conversation. It is a Southern African conversation. Joburg Indaba, unashamedly, we speak about South Africa and our issues. That's the only place you're allowed to complain about Eskom, Transnet, the ANC, Gwede, whoever is on the list of your complaints. We go to London and we force the conversation to be about Africa. The London Indaba is an African conversation. It works well because as Africa, we actually have similar opportunities and challenges to some extent, and no doubt about the future of Africa and mining in Africa for the world. The Junior Indaba, it took us a few years to convince anybody to accept the title junior. Because as you know, the mining industry is run by men. Men have got egos, size matters, don't call me junior. Next thing you say you like Donald Trump, and then I'm out of here. So we are finally having a junior conversation, which is relevant because, again, as juniors, we face challenges in a specific and unique way. So this conversation is finding its place and its space. It happens in Joburg, but you can see from the program, we showcase way beyond South Africa. Partly because there's just damn nothing in South Africa to showcase. So, I mean, there's like little copper mines and, big guys with little copper mines. But we are trying our best to get the junior conversation going, and I think we're getting there. But stealing from the Minerals Council of South Africa CEO's speech, Mzila Mtenjane, he said a few smart things, but they've got great speech writers there, we know that now. Or do you also use AI for your speeches? Sometimes. Now, recently, they missed a fantastic opportunity to use this platform for their big launch So they had their own platform and they did their own lawns. But, I mean, the points that came out of that webinar of a week or two ago are the issues now. So South Africa, and again, for South Africa, I can almost in all instances say Southern Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa even, currently attracts below 1% of global exploration investment. Now, that's not enough, and it's way down. So that's a statement of fact. As a country, and again, I can paraphrase it and say as a region, we are certainly going to be key players in the move to transition to a low-carbon future and the need to extract critical minerals that are going to be necessary for us to move, or for us to be able to move forward and achieve a low-carbon future. I think that's a statement of fact. The world's going to look for copper, the world's going to look for manganese, the world's going to look for nickel, etc., etc. Even the not so rare earths, the world's going to look for. So we happen to be so well positioned as a region. He goes on to say, to be able to do that, it's important that we have a very good understanding of the landscape of our minerals across the breadth and the depth of the country and the economy. It's obvious. Sometimes when you say obvious things, it sounds quite profound. But the deep understanding part is where we're going to go today. So yes, you can tell us how the world is going to be absolutely short of copper, but we're going to go a little bit deeper and understand what does that really mean. He highlights how important it is for exploration, the administration of the law, and government departments functioning together. I mean, just when I really get despondent about how South African government departments sometimes seems like they are from either different factions in the ruling party or even from different parties, then you read about Canada or US and their issues in permitting and dysfunctional misalignment between departments, and then you can see it's a worldwide phenomenon. It is complicated because somebody wears a green hat and somebody wears a not so green hat. And so those are the issues facing us. This was all done at an event where the IDC launched a 400 million rand exploration fund. It's going to be fun to see how that money gets spent. Knowing it's the IDC, I could add, if ever. But I'm not here to be rude. So, but we will every year check in to see how much has the fund grow, because I think it should earn interest. Have I been rude to everybody? Can I move on now? Is everybody offended? Are you all happy? Can I move on? Online people, adequately offended? May I move on? So, I like the vibe. I like the fact that mining suddenly is topical. I like the fact that exploration and therefore the step into the junior space is suddenly filling a room full of people. That's good. Let's just keep the conversations real. Of course, you are welcome to contribute to global warming through the hot air that you're going to purvey when you talk about your phenomenal company. Of course, we're going to hear, listen, and challenge some of your statements so that we keep the conversation real. Mostly, people like Boris comes back for more. So these abusive relationships clearly works for some miners. If you are too offended, it will be great to have you here this year, and we will miss you next year. Paula will miss you especially because bills have to be paid. Okay. So let's rather get going. She's Paula's cringing. Paula, I'm so sorry. But really, you've had like 12 years now to find somebody who can do this properly, so it's all on you. I need to introduce you to this platform because you're obviously semi-brain dead and you can't remember from last year. So you're going to take this, post this thingamadingy. What is this called again? QR code. I'm going to remember one day. You point your camera at it. It gives you a link that says qr.sly.do. If you have to do this in a way that you can click on it. That takes you to the Slido platform. And on the Slido platform, there are two things I want to introduce you to. The one is Q&A. It gets super difficult for me to pay attention to some of these really wannabe companies. So I fall asleep, and yet I have to put questions to them. So I need your help. So please post your questions on this Q&A. It comes to me, I put it to the presenter. Okay, so this is the interaction. This also, of course, helps online people. Yes, you can be anonymous. I don't know what you gain by that. But you can put your question, and then I would get them, and I would pick the ones that I think takes the conversation forward to the presenter. Simple, eh? Also keeps you honest, because there's no space to put your CV, how clever you are, when you did your MBA, what did you cum, what didn't you cum. You know, when people take a microphone, none of that. So just a question, okay? So stick to the question platform for questions. Then we also do polls. So if you press on the poll, it says there are no active polls at the moment. What are you doing here? Okay, there should be a poll. So can I please put on a practice poll? Practice poll. So you won't pass or fail on this. Why are you attending today? Half of you are presenters, obviously. There are real money in the room. I'm not going to expose them, because then you will all hijack them, but there are some serious potential investors. And then I'm here because it's so lonely out there, so I'm just obviously voting for It's Lonely Out There as a junior. You then have to press send, and then somewhere at some point, sort of, when it's a snappy poll, after a few seconds we'll close it. But you're warming up your fingers. I'm giving you a bit of time. You can see, so 108 people have voted. And you're all a bunch of liars, because 45 of 117 is 55 people are here to present their company. We've only got 5 presentations. So easy to deduct that I'm talking to a bunch of liars. Okay. But it's always good to know your audience. So we'll treat you accordingly for the rest of the day. Mind you, half of the audience are lawyers, so they are liars. So clearly I should have known that. I'm just offending the front row now. Okay, so that's simple. Now, can we try 1 or 2 more polls? Because I have to use up my time. Let's go to the next quick poll, please. So the infamous Fraser Institute rankings came out again. My favorite activity. Journalists love it. They don't have to think, they can just abuse. So it came out again. I want to ask, what do you make of it? I'm not saying it's nonsense, but it could be claimed that. It certainly isn't scientific, but it is quite informative, and it is the absolute tool to beat Gwede up with. The Minerals Council even got him to sign up to improve our ranking on the Fraser Institute. I mean, an opinion poll run over 4 months, answered by 200 Canadians, is the basis on which we're going to run Africa's minerals industry. Fantastic. Well done, Minerals Council. I'm wondering which one of those I will be voting for. Okay, about 12 of us got it right. But you see, this is the thing with democracy, no? You get to vote. So we're not going to dwell a lot on the Fraser Institute rankings, but the next question goes to what comes out of those types of rankings. So last poll, please, before we move on. I'm going to have to shout at my tech deck very early in the morning. So I'm truly interested in what is the key factor making one country, and I'm using Botswana as an example, attract more exploration money than others. For example, South Africa. If we just compare 2 neighboring countries right now, would you say it's about regulatory certainty, a functioning cadastre system, geology, access to the government database, government funding, and you can see I'm setting up the next panel. Lily, I'm setting up the next panel because we're going to claim great success with lots of things, including IDC fund. Now, in any proper junior conference, there should have been a few more geologists in the room. Again, me and a few people understand it's actually about the geology, but democracy is democracy. You guys do what you do. So this is, I wonder if this conference was in the DRC, if this is the answer we would have gotten. It's very interesting. So according to this audience, 2/3 of this audience, which makes it almost 100 people, say it's about regulatory certainty. They don't even know you, and they're already picking on you. Eh? Ladies, gentlemen, thank you. During the day, we will do a BS parameter. Simple question, yes or no? Whatever, just claim the following. Do you agree with that statement, yes or no? As you know, BS stands for Bernard Swanepoel, so it's not bullshit. So it's called the BS barometer. I don't know why. But we're going to check in with the audience to see if the wild claims you make or the truth that you proclaim is shared by the audience. So we'll do that throughout the day. Again, don't get offended. I can tell this audience disagrees with everything I say. It's okay. You are wrong. I'm happy with the concept. Me and my other few people are right. So please bring your thick skin. Let's have good conversations. And let's remember, as serious as it is, especially for the future of our continent and our industry, let's just do this with a sort of sense of fun. Nobody pays me, so I have to have fun whilst I'm doing this, okay?